are we going to have to use the mouse and take the mouse up there and be very cautious not to hit the wrong square? Is that the
Yeah,
only
no,
way
we
to?
we are yeah, we're working on the F key thing as well. They do give you some ability to add F key functionality, if you will, or like an Alt F type thing. So we are working on that because law asks the same thing. So we're trying to mimic, I should say, or mirror as best as we can what is on MobileCom. But it doesn't always, it's not all the same functionality, if that makes sense. So sometimes it doesn't work, but we are going to try to add those F keys in there, and then we'll give everybody kind of a quick sheet, if you will, that will kind of list what all the F keys do.
Okay. And then on the associated radios, um,
Yes,
I guess that shows what the LIDs of the radios that are in service right now or something like that. Is
correct.
that
Correct. So it shows
and
us
how's that?
when you do this associated radio, what it does is and you see the little, your message icon is keying up here. So what it's going to do is tell you what radios are associated with this unit. So this is primarily for you, right? Like what's my radios? So I know I've got Aaron Wood on this call, right? But he does not at this moment have a radio ID assigned to him. So you would be able to either come here and put something in if we had temporary radios built in, which we don't, or you can go to this button here, which is to modify your logon. And under modify logon, you can come down here and you can add temporary radios. So I've got Aaron Wood on here as my crew member. Let's say I wanted to add another crew member. I could do that here by just highlighting this and clicking the plus button and picking somebody else, right, to be on the unit with me. In addition to that, I can also modify my temporary radio or add a temporary radio since I don't have anything on here right now. And I'm just going to pick something. And it's basically the same thing in all three spots. Right? And then once I've done that, I can click submit. And if I came back here to associate radios, there should be yes. So now I can associate this radio, right, to Aaron Wood that's on this truck.
Is
That
there any
makes sense?
way through the login screen that we can have it so it pops up with the LID that's assigned to that truck, and they can either verify it at that time or change it at that time? Is that something that they can look at doing? Because I think that was the priority is
So
to try to make sure dispatch has everybody's LID assigned.
yeah, so we looked at that a little bit. The way that they have it associated, at least based on the current screens available to us, like straight out of the box, was you could have LIDs, but you basically had to if you were going to do it, you had to build in every single LID that's possible, if that makes sense, into the system. And then that way, again, you would be able to kind of go through a pick list and say, okay, my LID is 10650, right, from this list. We were trying to see if there was a way to kind of mimic, if you will, similar to how our current login is for MobileCon, where you can just type the information in there versus having to try to pick it from a list, because that could get a lot, obviously, if you put every single LID in there. So we're still kind of working through that a little bit, but at this point, for us, doing not, I'm sorry, not the associate radio, but doing the modify logon allows you to be able to put temporary radios, whatever those LIDs are going to be, and then you can assign them here in the associate radios button to whoever that person is, and the unit for that matter. And then that way, dispatch would know when this LID logs out or has an alert, if you will, an SOS alert, what truck that's associated with. So we are
Okay.
working through that. I do want you to know that we are looking at it, but at least what we've been shown thus far, I don't think will necessarily work for us because it'd be just this long, crazy list that you're searching through,
Okay. And then the final
to put
question is
LIDs in.
on the screen earlier you had a pending call there, and then we have the
Yes.
on-site button.
Yes.
Could I use that on-site button to take that pending call and just add it to myself? Is that kind of like what it's for?
No, so on-site is just for creating a call, period, right? So like I'm not on a call right now, I'm available on the radio. If I decided that I wanted to do a still alarm, think still alarm, right? I'm gonna do a still alarm call. I can come in here and on site put myself on the call. And so I'm just going to say I got a fire alarm, still alarm, right? And then again, if I had GPS, this is the server right now, so there's no kind of GPS associated with it. But if I had GPS, I would be able to, use my current location. It would kind of reverse geocode me based on where I am and give me like an address that's closest to me. But in this scenario, I'm just going to pick an address. So I will come here and I'll say I'm going to do Eaton again. Right, and here's the button that's going to be everybody's friend, this geo validate button right here. Right, so you can type in a partial address, you're going to click geo validate, and it's going to give you options that are actually in the system, right? That things that will actually get you to where you're trying to be. So you click this, I can put a comment in here if I so desire, still alarm, fire alarm, or something like that. Type today, and then click submits, and this will put me on a call, hopefully. And let's do that one more time.
I'm glad that's happening to you, Patrick, because the same thing was happening to me. Brushfire was the only one that was working.
It was the only one that would allow you to do it, to
Yeah,
actually put
Brushfire
yourself on the
seemed to
call.
work. Yeah, Brushfire was the only one that seemed like it was working the easiest.
Same with Delta.
So it wouldn't let you do any other option in here other than Brushfire.
I didn't check every single one. I just know Brushfire worked.
All right, let's try. Yeah, what is? All right, I will definitely look at that. Make that note right now. Sites.
Patrick, if you want to make a note too, I don't think brush fire should be an active problem nature based on the new CAD plan layout, but we can catch that later.
Okay. All right, so again, on site, the whole purpose of this is to put yourself on the call, right? So this would put us on that. We chose Brushfire in this case. This is your address and your comments and information that is here. That the geo verify button or that verify button is important because again, CAD will take anything, just like MobileCom will today, right? If you were to put yourself out on a call in MobileCom, you could type in there Mickey Mouse and it'll take it. The geo verify button is important because again, it makes it a validated address in the system. And once you do that, then that associates this particular call to the right response areas, as well as the right responses. And so if you were putting yourself out on a call, let's say it was a structure fire call that you were calling in as a still alarm, you definitely want that to be a validated address because obviously as a single unit going, you're not going to be the only person going to a call. So we would need it to be the correct response area and a validated location so that we could, and dispatch send the rest of the complement along with you to this call. So just kind of want to make everybody aware of this. It's that was the purpose of this. I would absolutely look into those call types and why they would not allow us to on-site ourselves. You should be able to use any one of them in that list. And also verify to make sure it's the correct list and not showing anything that's old.
Patrick, is there a backer, like our current system where I could add myself to a current incident?
Yes. So I think we are on scene call. Let me clear myself from this. And one of the things that you'll see here too is that it will kind of save whatever your last disposition was. That'll kind of be like the default, if you will. So if most of the calls you go to, you're canceling, or most of the calls you're going to, it's in the case the last one we did was a non-emergency transport. So in this scenario, you would have to go through and select cancel call. You're going to hit submit. that'll be done. So here, for example, you got your active call that's up right now. Engine 7 and Engine 6 are going to. If I wanted to add myself, since I am not on a call right now, if I want to add myself to this, I can click this self-assign button, and that puts me on this call. So I'm dispatched, and now I am en route to this call. That's kind of like the backup button, if you will, backing up a unit. So you can do that for any call where there's a unit already kind of assigned to it, and you just want to assign yourself. So for all of our battalions and people of that nature, just want to assign themselves to a call. And again, it kind of takes you through the same thought process, right? You can yourself, you're en route now, so you can go and see available out of service. Let me just show the out of service button as well. So again, when you click out of service, it's going to take you to this reason screen, kind of similar to what we think about today. What are your reasons for going out of service? I'm going out of service for a bed delay or decon or manpower or whatever, right? And once you choose that, you just come over here and click submit, and then that's going to put you in that status. And most of the statuses are statuses where you are like taken, out of the system, right? You will not get dispatched for a call. All right, so I see a couple of hands. Any other questions? Chief Gilliam, Chief Swisher.
Swisher was up first. Go ahead, Bush.
I got a couple just to clarify, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Patrick, when you're on a call, the call notes right there, when you add a comment, I noticed when we were playing around with the system that it put my name as the comment rather than the unit, which could be a problem because if you don't know the person that's on the unit. So just my opinion, I think it would be better if it says the unit that made the comment. If you add comment down there to the notes.
Okay, so you're saying if you do this here.
It
right,
added my name and not the unit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I don't know.
So put your individual user in there, but not necessarily the unit that you were.
Yeah, so
responding to.
I think that's going to be a problem for the units out in the field because they're not going to know that, Joe Bob's on hazmat 15. They really just need to know that it's a hazmat 15 comment.
Okay.
But so that's one thing. Is there? I know we talked about this, but is there a way to change the on-site button and relabel it to a still alarm button, like everybody in the world knows it as?
Sure. We can absolutely address the name. So you want is the thought process to make it still alarm?
That's just me saying that. I mean, if everybody else agrees, but why everybody's used to still alarm, so why not call the button still alarm?
Yeah, I know I can just say from the dispatch side of the world, right? When we are, let's say you call out with a still alarm, the commands and things that we use in Tiburon CAD and as well as in this CAD would be, citing you. I'm citing you out on a call. So that's kind of where that whole on-site thing comes from out of the box. But we can absolutely, we have control over how these are labeled. So we can label them whatever we like.
Just throwing it out to the
whatever
group.
chooses.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good for the primary group of 15 to catch on our Monday meeting agenda.
Okay.
And then on the transport stuff, is all that going to be mapped to the ESO? So in other words, the mileage, the reason why they're going to that facility, and if so, would we have to build the list to be matching the ESO list because that has family protocol and other things involved in it too? Because if it could be mapped, that'd be a lot less work for the crews. It would just automatically map into ESO.
So yes, it can be mapped, or it can be mapped because that's all a part of the data. So whatever you're putting into the system will be, available to ESO in the back end. We would just need to get kind of whatever that list is. This is kind of straight out of the box, if you will. So whatever that list is for your, like, I guess your protocol or transport reasons, we would just need to get that so that we can add that to the system. But yes, to answer your question.
Yeah, I'm not
don't
sure.
have
I
that
guess
right
that
now.
would be with Volusia County EMS who built that out. I think I'm not sure. And then I don't know if you got the maps yet, but we're still having a problem with our map where the hydrant layer disappears once you open up the map and actually start layering it to see the streets. Our hydrants are
Okay.
still disappearing. And then we have several units that are not working on the CAD.
And when you say not working, meaning what? Like you can't log
They
in as
error
that
out.
unit, or what happens?
They error out. They either say that they're already being used or that the unit is void. So, and I haven't made a list of which ones. I haven't gone down the list, but there are several that are not. I don't know if anybody else has run into that either.
If you have seen that or you're having issues with it, definitely send that to me so I can kind of look and see what's going on. Hopefully the units are, well, so there are units that you actually see in your list that can't be selected, right? But it just gives you an error when you try to log in. Is that one? Is that what you're
On
saying?
some of them, yes. Some of them work. Some of them we're getting errors.
Okay. Yeah, definitely send that to me. Whatever you come across, and we can kind of look and see what's happening in the system. I know sometimes, for example, if it shows you already logged on, sometimes it can kind of give you a message that it says, "Hey, you can't like log on again because you're already there." And usually, what we do on our side, as far as the CAD is concerned, is kind of log that unit off, and then you're able to log on. But I
I
haven't
know
seen
Chief
anything
60 is
else
one of them
beyond
that's
that.
getting that. Chief 60 is one that's getting that message that it's saying it's already
Okay,
logged in. But it
gotcha.
gives a number, but it doesn't say what tablet it is or whatever. It just gives some random number.
Yeah,
I'll
for
get with you
anybody that may be
afterwards on it.
experiencing that, just shoot me an email with the units that you're having issues with, and I'll definitely go and take a look.
Okay. So
Chief,
on your
Chief
map that
Gillian.
you're looking at right now,
Oh, sorry,
where's the
sorry.
hydrants at? Are they underneath that layer?
Let's see what we got turned on. That's our zoom levels. Well, while we're here, let's go through the map stuff real quick. So again, if I was back here on my call, right, I can click map it, and that will take me to the call. If let's say, for example, I was connected to a GPS, this is the server, but if let's say I had an AVL associated with this, and I was not at this location, right, I'm en route to the location, I could also ask for directions. And what you would see here is this is my current location, right, on this side, and then ultimately this would be I'm sorry, this is the location I'm going to, and then over here would be your current location based on AVL. And you all see this kind of change as you're moving, right? So it'll try to pick up the street that you're on, or the block range that you're on, or the intersections that you're passing by. And so that'll be kind of where I'm going to and where I am. And then in the middle of this will be another set of information that would be your directions, like turn left, make your next left at this, or keep going straight, or whatever your directions are. If you click on this here, and I'm sorry I can't show this because I'm not on a MDC that actually has AVL. If you actually were to click on this, it would bring up the full set of directions here on the side. So if you ever hide your directions, you're going to see your next logical step, whatever that next logical direction is here. And if you click on that, it'll bring up that full set of directions over here on the side. Now going over here to just the icons on the side. So this top one is what we call our themes. These themes allow you to change the look and the feel of the map. So right now I got the online based maps, kind of looks like Google to some extent, or maybe the Esri maps. And we'll just go through all of them just so you kind of see the difference. So this is like an offline base map, which means that if you didn't have internet access, for example, and you were kind of looking at this map, or it couldn't get to Google or to Esri, this is one of the maps that will be available to you. Here you see the hydrants, that's what these little plus signs are. And they show up as you zoom in. Right. So that's just offline, right? So offline based maps, you got like the cities highlighted in a different color. Obviously the counties here in this green. If we go to offline based map with points, this is going to show you address points. So same basic background, but now when I zoom in, I should see, in addition to our hydrants, also I'm seeing my address points on here. And you see more things, of course, as you zoom further in. And then the next one is offline with boundaries. So kind of same thing, same thought process. As you zoom out, you'll see some information, but it also has the boundaries of the different response areas that are here. So let me zoom out a little bit more, you can see what I'm saying. So these blue lines, if you will, represent response areas and their boundaries. And then again, if we turn this off, we're going to go to our next one, which would be the online base map. Again, takes you back to the Google version. Here's online base maps with our points or address points for your addresses. So again, as I zoom into this, you're going to start seeing addresses pop up. But Chief, to your point, what you're saying is like at this level, we're not seeing hydrants, right?
That's correct. I don't, at least I don't, and from what I can tell, when you're not online, you just go to map. The first thing that comes up is the hydrant layer. And then once you start adding these layers on top, it covers up the hydrants.